is TwinSportsTV.
Hey, y'all know what time it is. It's TwinTalk. TwinSportsTV, we about to get it in with y'all.
We are.
We got a hot topic today.
We do.
We about to get it in.
Yep. What's that hot topic?
Should the score be taken off the scoreboard in youth sports?
Right.
What you think?
That's what we about to talk about when we get back, so stay tuned.
Hey.
It's TwinTalk. It is. Thank y'all for tuning in. We turned up.
Hey, we about to get it in. It's Tuesday, and y'all know what's up. We got something to talk to y'all about.
We do.
What's that hot topic?
Should the score be taken off the scoreboard in youth sports?
Right.
That's an interesting topic. I know a lot of coaches would love to chime in on this one.
Right. But we gonna get it in on.
Right.
Get it in for you. Look, we ran across a blog from breakthroughbasketball.com.
Right.
And they were talking about this interesting topic about, kids, the scoreboards, and
should we take it off?
Yeah, should we take it off so kids could just have fun, play the game, learn the game? Or is it all about winning, and how many points? Now it ain't just winning. It's how many points can you put on the board?
Right.
How can you get that team that donut or not?
Right.
So that's the topic. So we just want to discuss that because we got a lot of different opinions about it.
Right.
And so we just want to share it with you.
Okay,
so if you got a comment or question, make sure you chime in and let us know.
Right. So hold on a quick second. I'm going to read what the blog has for us.
Yep.
All right. One second. All right. Now, should the score be taken off the scoreboard in youth sports? If everybody can see the score, the natural adult tendency is to coach the score rather than the process. All great coaches will tell you to coach the process, not the outcome.
Right.
If you think the score is important, let the kids keep the score. Sometimes you will win by 2 points against a very bad team and lose by 2 points to a far superior team. And you're most upset about the game you lost. So you're happy when when you play poorly,
right?
And you're mad when you play great.
So it's kind of
that's what the blog is about.
So people have been chiming in; they got their different opinions and stuff like that. So we just want to give our opinion. We want you guys to express your opinion, and let's see
get
what
it in. Let's have a dialogue.
Exactly, because I know a lot of people are saying, a lot of coaches they just want to win. I mean, win by any cause. They don't. The kids who can't play as well, they let them sit on the sideline, ride the bench, and they put in their starters. The big guys or the best guys, and they just put them in and keep going without alternating kids to let kids get experience. Because it's almost like, how are you going to really learn or know what you've learned is effective if you don't get in the game and really put it to work?
So is that really fair for those kids on the sidelines to come to practice all the time? Their parents pay for registration for them to play. They're with their friends and building relationships and learning life skills. Is it fair for those kids to not get coached up properly? With the coach going for the process, not really about the outcome. Is it fair for that kid? Is it fair for those kids that are always in there? And the coaches are just drilling. It's all about winning, score. Points. Is it fair for that kid?
Right. To have that kind of pressure at such a young age.
Right.
So somebody was chimed in on this dialogue that was going in from youth development and conditioning coach. One of them, a youth development and conditioning coach, said, they're not talking about kids that like 13 or 18 or whatever, the bigger kids. We're talking about the little kids like 8 years old.
Our babies, what we call them.
They were talking about coaching kids based on scores and wins at an age ruins the game for them. It takes kind of the fun out. Kids should be coached not based on the score and wins. They should be based on developing that kid.
Right.
It kind of demotivates them to play when you keep always talking about we gotta win this, we gotta score, you gotta be perfect, you can't miss, you can't mess up, and that kind of thing.
And what signal are you sending to that kid that's not getting in all the time? If you only putting these certain kids in, you're sending a signal to them that they're just losers. They're not good. They would never measure up.
Right.
Especially
when they're young, 5, 6, and people getting kids in sports early, so it's starting at like 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of pressure. I mean, we've seen some top-notch athletes. I mean, at age 5 and 6,
flying up to the line in football like they're from the New York Jets or something.
Exactly. And we're blown away how these kids are able to do it.
Right.
So if they're able to do it, then some coaches it's like you can push them to do it.
Right.
So what's your opinion? What do you think? Should we be pushing these kids
to focus on
at a high level at such a young age?
Focusing on the score and win.
Because usually it used to be about just winning, actually. Now it's got to a point where people say, no, we ain't going to just win. We're going to blow you out.
Right.
You ain't even going to score.
So you're running up the numbers.
Exactly. You ain't even going to get a first down in our game.
Right.
They want that defense at 5 and 6-year-olds shutting folks out.
What do you think about that? Yes.
Is that too much? Too much
in.
Pressure? When a lot of 5 and 6-year-olds just want to run around, pick in the grass, throw the ball, touch the ball. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think about that?
Right.
Okay, we got somebody who chimed in. They saying, this is from Ken. Ken saying he think most people get into coaching because they love the game.
And
they love working with kids, helping them to become good players and develop into young adults. That's why most people do get into coaching.
Right.
They all want to win, players, parents, coaches. The problem they see it at youth sports level is where winning is more important than teaching and coaching.
Right.
So that's the thing. If you're not really teaching these kids, and really you shouldn't focus on the kids that are the better skilled kids.
Right.
Everybody got to be coached up the same way. So that way, really, should nobody be on the sideline too long because you should be swapping them in because everybody has the skills.
Right.
But I think people pay attention to like certain kids,
and
then they get into the daddy ball syndrome where your kid is on a team, so your dad's coaching the team, so it's a lot of favoritism in that. So I think if we can get into the habit of coaching up all of the kids, then the kids don't have to play a whole game. We can interject, fill in, and get those other kids the time and the skills so they can develop along with the other athletes. I think that's what's important.
Or what about if there's a certain league just for developmental kids and then a league for skilled kids? What do you think about that? Then do you make it about winning, score, or is that still off the table because they're so young? And we're not talking about middle school and high school kids. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the younger ones that are in elementary school. Your 8 and unders, your 9 and unders, 7 unders, 6 and unders, and that kind of thing. What do you think? What do you think about the score?
Because, we just had a situation, too, where somebody, it was a great game. Both sides, both teams.
Defense was going down.
Exactly.
Was not a high scoring game at all.
Very low. And of course, one team has to win. And that doesn't mean that the other team did not play or they didn't come out and show up and show out. It's just that day they didn't get it. The other team won. So the parent didn't want to put the highlight out. And I'm like, man, it was getting a game teaser for their kid. The kid balled out. He wanted one of the skilled players on the team, but because they didn't win, he wasn't sure whether he wanted to release his highlight. And I was like, look, this is my opinion. I know you parents, you're going to do what you want to do.
Right.
It's your kid. That's fine. I just want to give you my opinion. Because my thing is, when you tell a kid that you're not going to release the highlight or you don't want this game shown because you didn't win, that takes away the accountability of all the hard work that kid put into in that game. Now, if he just didn't play the game, the way... Hold on 1 second.
Right. He didn't play the game the way he should have played, and he was not as good, and he could have done better.
He was messing up throughout the game. He wasn't focused, wasn't into it. Then that's one thing. But when you ball out, hey, I say put it out. Let the kids.
You gotta reward them for their
effort.
Effort, not really on the scoreboard, but on their effort, because they're too little to just reward them on wins and losses, you know, and on points on the board. You have to reward them for their effort. So no matter what the score is, no matter whether they win or lose, they will always put forth a 100.
Exactly.
Their best self. And that's what we're about, putting forth their best self.
Exactly. And another parent chimed in. Let's see. Was it
a parent or was it a coach?
Actually, it's a coach.
Yep,
You're right.
Yep.
Might be a parent coach.
There you go.
See.
Yep.
Scott chimed in. Scott said he's been coaching for 4 years, coaching youth sports. He understands the concerns that a lot of people have expressed. He said he see less problems with coaches and more problems with the leagues being run. And this probably contains to more so basketball too. Because he's trying to say that the leagues are allowing too many stacked teams with kids that are beyond the age limit of the league. And we know how that is. They got the kids are playing up and I don't know. That basketball is a lot going on with that. So he's saying he currently coaches a 12U team, and this is in the YMCA league. But then they allowed a private middle school to bring in 2 teams to play in their league, and many of the kids are age limit 13 to 15, but his age limit is like 12U. And I don't know, somehow they kind of intertwined, and their kids had to play up, and it was just a big mess. And he's just don't understand, like with basketball, you get so many different ages in one team. So kids are playing up, and he's thinking they should just play their age. It should be all in the same level, so that way kids can get the proper skill set at the proper time.
Or at least their same grade.
Yeah.
Because as they go into middle school and high school, you're going to have to play that grade. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I find it, as a parent, I would think it would be difficult for me to, if my child was 8 years old playing basketball and he's out there with 10-year-olds.
Right.
You know.
But some people look at that as like, oh, well, he got the skill, he playing up, he getting, he's learning.
He's being challenged. I think that's their
reasoning.
Right. They're being challenged. But why not just ball out in his age?
Right.
Because he's going to get challenged once he gets to middle school and high school.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, I guess you have to answer the question, do you want that pressure on your child at a young age, or do you want him to polish his skills and have fun and work on the other life skills that a lot of our kids are lacking, like teamwork, what comes out of their mouth, being good sportsmanship, and, you know, those kind of life skills. Maybe we could work on those more at a younger age, and then handle the rest when they get in middle school. And also, he might can
inspire other kids at his age for them to bring their skill and their talent level up to where he is. Because that's one thing with my nephew, her son. He played football. Now he's a quarterback, but when he was younger, he never came off the field. He played all the positions. Now, when he got to middle school, they wanted him to kind of narrow it because he was a quarterback to just play on the offense. But hey,
I do have one. Yep.
So the thing is, when he got on defense, we kept saying, play him on defense, but they didn't want to. But hey, we got blown out for like 2 or 3 games. So they put him on defense, and boy, it changed the whole morale of the team. Not only did, you know, he was doing his thing, but the other kids started doing their thing because they was watching him at what he was doing, and they wanted to get their game up. So that's what it can influence people in that same age category to get their game up, get their skills up, to want to go hard. So I think, you know.
And have fun all at the same time while still being a kid.
Exactly. So that's what it's all about. Should we have a scoreboard up there for these young ones? Now, we talking about the little babies.
Right.
The big babies. Some of them are big. And we saw a team.
And my opinion is, I don't mind really having the scoreboard up there. I mean, it's really not a question of should the scoreboard be there. I guess it's more so, should we really be pressuring the kids so much about the score? Can you still find something positive out of a game if a team loses?
Right.
Does it always have to be bring down the house on them and rah and really?
Because you know what, TwinSportsTV, we like to interview kids whether the team wins or lose.
Right.
And that kind of thing. And sometimes it just breaks our heart when the team lose, and we want to come over there and still pump them up, still give them, show them
to let them know
love.
that we see their effort, even though they didn't win. We see them.
Yeah,
and a lot of times that's what it takes for a spark in a child is for somebody to see them, no matter what. Because just like my kid growing up playing football, he wasn't on a dominant team. He wasn't on a stacked team. He's been on plenty of teams that did not win, that had losing records or whatever. But you cannot deny him his effort towards that team. I mean, it was so great that even coaches from other teams would commend him because he would have to put the team on his back and carry him.
Right. And that's my thing. I was going back to the interview thing is it just breaks our hearts so many times when we want to go over there and still give them an interview, still give them that shine.
Right.
And the coaches be like, nah.
Right.
I mean,
ain't time for that.
We lost. So
they just TwinSports TV.
We like, what? But we love the kids. Win or lose. We say that at the end of every show.
Win or lose. Like we out there. Sun or shine or rain or snow. We out there.
We the new face of sports media. We love the kids.
We do.
Whether they win, they lose, whatever. We just trying to get to encourage you because the more you can motivate them, they'll do a better job next time. They be like, oh man, TwinSports TV out there. We got an interview. We need to get our next interview. They want to get our sports towels. They want to get everything.
They do.
So basically, we motivating and we inspiring all athletes. So we don't come out for particular athletes. We come out for them all.
Right.
And we want to, we like the coaches, the ones that can really encourage these kids to do their thing without all the rah.
And I would say a lot of coaches are good coaches. Are like that.
A lot of them.
It's just every now and then you'll get that one coach.
Right. And we know sometimes it's a hard loss. That loss is hard. We understand that. But them babies, they just young.
They are.
So we want to encourage them no matter what. Win or lose, you got to get it in.
Especially playing sports like football and that kind of thing it's a difficult sport for a lot of these young kids who are in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, or whatever. And just to even get them to be able to play that game at a high level is amazing.
It is.
And it should be commended on both sides, whether you lose or win. Because that's a lot. That's a lot.
Especially if you and then when you only lose like by a point or something like that.
Right.
I know it's heartbreaking, but them kids deserve to be uplifted.
They do.
Because
commended for their effort.
Exactly, because they fought a hard game.
They did.
And it just didn't go their way, but they still deserve.
Life still goes on.
Exactly. And I know a lot of coaches now, they want to run that scoreboard up.
They do.
I know it feels good.
I know.
What I'm
Sometimes
saying.
we want to run it up too. Yeah. But you just have to look at the overall picture. We're talking about when they're young.
Yeah. I know, high school, when you get in college,
middle school,
definitely.
They just want to put those
But you can prepare them for that.
Right.
And there's individual stats and there's other reasons why people may want to put the points up on the board. Because by the end, everybody's kind of should be coached up.
Yeah.
They should have the skills. That's why we start them
young.
I
think some of these coaches are concerned with that we are eliminating the phases of life for kids. You know what I'm saying? Because when they're really young, and it's just like in school, like you wouldn't want to put on a first or second grader information that they're learning in middle school and put that information in the classroom with first and second graders. That's what I guess what we're trying to say. You're learning the foundations, you're learning the fundamentals when you're that young, and it should be fun while they're learning it. And then as they grow and as they get older, they learn more life skills and more information, more pressures are put on them, but it should be at a phase. And I think that's the concern that's going on, is that we're taking that fun out of sports, because I believe you can have fun. You still can put up numbers. You still can win games. You still can be firm with kids. But let's keep fun in it and not so much stress on the score, but on the process.
Exactly.
And part of kids growing is the fun. It's the teamwork. It's building friendship. It's those life skills. And you don't want to shortchange any child from life skills. Exactly. That's more important than winning a game.
Exactly.
And it might not come across a coach's mind when they're that young, because they figure, hey, the kids are going to grow up. They're going to go and have other coaches and do other things. They're just in the moment. But us, we think of kids as they grow up in life. What are they going to be like as young men and young women?
Exactly.
And it starts there. Right. It starts there. That's why school starts that early, to prepare them to be young men and women to go out here and be positive contributors to society. And it starts with that. So if they want to be positive athletes in their sport in middle school and high school, it's going to start to make sure they have the foundations, the fundamentals, the life skills early.
Exactly. And we salute to all you coaches.
We do. We love the coaches. We do.
Because it's a lot of responsibility to take on other people's kids.
Right.
To really mold them and shape them. You spend a lot of time with them over the years. So you're a great role model. So we just pray that these coaches really step up and do the right thing and be, I guess, model what should be what we're modeled for these young kids. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know what she's saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sorry. I said, you know what I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, so we appreciate it because we've come across a lot of great coaches.
We do. We do.
One of our favorite coaches influenced us to start Twin Sports TV. Yep. So we know it's
Who's
a
that,
lot.
Coach Waters?
Coach Waters. Shout out to Coach Waters from the Georgia Knights. Y'all know what time it is.
Yes.
Hey, we love it. So make sure y'all tune in to us. Hit us up, subscribe, hit that like button, hit the notification button so you know when we going live. We're going to start going live a lot more. Yep. You know, we got a lot to say. A lot of topics we want to get out. You know, we got our Sports Meets Music Live podcast. Make sure you stay tuned for that.
Right.
Hit us up with our game teaser if you want us to come out and highlight you, your game, athletes, whatever you want Twin Sports TV to show up and show out. Right. Y'all know how we do it. Make sure you go to Amazon and get our book. We got our new book out, book number 2. There it is.
Hey.
Regina and Renita and their Hidden Crowns.
Yep.
Make sure you go support that. All proceeds go to our foundation to help you sports out here in this community to try to big up these kids.
Yep.
We love y'all. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. It's Twin Talk and we out.
Peace.
Get your game up.